Welcome to my world, where you will experience an atmosphere of love, relevant subjects, and motivation. So let's talk about things that matter. What matters to you matters to me. Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show once again. My name is Henry Harris, and I have the pleasure of being your host. I am so delighted that you've taken the opportunity to watch today. Today we're going to talk about PTSD. We've been talking about this for the last several weeks, and today we're going to talk about, can religion cause PTSD? And this is going to be really good as I share my own experiences from this subject. So I believe that today's message will be challenging to the religious mindset. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a fair warning. You may find a lot of what I say offensive to the religious establishment, to the religious mindset. First of all, you need to understand that your mental health is important. And anything that could affect that needs to be denounced or destroyed. Your mental health is important. You may want to hold your socks, fasten your seat belts, because what I will be sharing will create a greater freedom in your life. And this is a freedom that I have experienced. And this is a freedom that I believe that you can experience today as well. According to some estimates, there's roughly 4,200 religions in the world. Whew. Think about that. Over 4,200 religions in the world. The word religion is sometimes used interchangeably with faith or a belief system. In other words, if you are a part of a certain religion, that religion has a certain faith or belief system that you are associated with. So if you are a part of Christianity, that religion has a certain faith and certain belief system that must be adhered to. If you are a part of the Islamic faith, that religion has a faith and a belief system that you must adhere to. Buddhism, I can go on and on about that. But religion differs from private belief in that it has a public aspect and impact on the world, especially Christianity. There are a few popular religions among the 4,200 that's been estimated around the world. Some of the most popular ones is Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, and Islam. No matter what category you fall under, or what religion you are associated with, you know deep down inside if it's truly working for you or working against you. No matter what religion you are affiliated with, I honor and respect your choice and your decision. What I am sharing with you today is just solely my experience. I'm not here to convince you to believe like me. I'm not here to tell you that all religions are bad. I think personally there is some good in every religion. I just personally refuse to be a part of any of them. Not that they're not authentic or that they don't produce anything in my life. I refuse to be a part of any religion for my own well-being, for my own mental health. So let's first of all dispel the notion that you have to be a part of a religion or religions to have a good life. Many people have that ideal or ideology that you have to be a part of something. You got to be a Christian, you got to be Muslim, you got to be. in order to have a good and productive life. I'm not, and I'm having a good life. I was a part of Christianity for many years. I still believe in God. I believe in God as the person, and I also believe in God as a principle. So from my experience, I was exposed to what many would call Christianity at a very early age. I didn't really know much about that religion at the time, but was feared into believing it with endless threats that if I didn't, God would burn me for eternity. There's a popular belief in Christian circles that's called hell. I witnessed many Christians displaying very hypocritical behavior, gossip, pastors not getting along, financial abuse, and so on in my early years. Even though I didn't understand it all, these are some things I was exposed to in the church world. The ultimate reason why I agreed to have a relationship with what many call Jesus was only because of the threat of God burning me for eternity if I didn't, which that's very common if you do your research among a lot of religions. A lot of religions have what they call a God or a Savior or someone who supposedly came to free people from whatever. And then in return, the people must either accept that or else there's some type of consequences. Do your research on a lot of these religions. A lot of them are very connected in the same ways, Christianity included. So I felt lost. I felt very detached from God, who many said was merciful, kind, generous, loving, but at the same time a God who was very mean, exclusive, out of touch, not only with me, but with reality. It has constant mood swings, gives people incurable diseases, always angry, has a huge ego problem, couldn't be questioned. It was very hard to develop a healthy relationship with that God. People ask me today, when they hear stuff like this, you sound like you don't believe in God. I believe in God. I just don't believe in the God that Christianity has formed or created me to believe in. So a lot of mainstream Christianity I used to believe was indoctrinated into me as I was a child. I really didn't have no say in the deal. This is what we believe. You're a part of this church. This is what you must adhere to. And that's it. You didn't question things. You didn't question God. It was firmly established. So we don't question it because we believe it was to be true. Just like today, many people that are a part of Christianity or any religion, we don't question it because we believe that what we are a part of or affiliated with is true. We don't come against what we've always been religiously taught because you will be considered rebellious or in rebellion for not following that religion's rules or the religion that you are associated with. I'm going to learn something today. So over the years, and remember, this is just my experience. So over the years, I finally had the courage to start questioning some things. There were just some things that just wasn't making sense. I'm talking about God, about Jesus, about the Bible, about some of the events in the Bible I questioned. How it took the Bible over 300 years or so, maybe more, to be fully canonized. They couldn't determine which books were right or what would fit in the Bible. You know, all this comes from just doing basic research. So a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't question it. Well, of course I'm going to question it. Of course I'm going to question it. I think that's the problem with a lot of people today is that we just accept everything as is. We accept everything at face value. That's dangerous. Start questioning things. And if people tell you not to question it, that should encourage you even the more to question it. As someone said, you can't have a quest for God unless you question God. That is so true. I started to question everything, people. I started to question everything. And the more I question stuff, the more I see how a lot of what I believe just wasn't lining up. It just wasn't lining up. My belief system was distorted, which affected me not only mentally, but psychologically. I was convinced to believe that you really couldn't have a relationship with God outside of going to church, outside of reading your Bible, outside of Christianity. That's what I was taught, and this is what I used to believe. When I started to evaluate and reevaluate my beliefs, things started to shift for me. And not only that, things started to look a little bit more clearer to me. I understand now that I didn't have to believe in that angry, vindictive God that Christianity had formed. Do I still believe in God? My question is, which one? Which one? Which one are you talking about? I believe in God. I believe in the God principle, that he was kind, inclusive, loving. But I had to walk away from it all for my own well-being and my mental health. And I said that earlier. In what ways has religion affected you? Would you mind putting that right down there in the comment section? In what ways has religion affected you? I would like to know. This was my story. What is yours? I would like to know. Everything goes back to the question of discussion. Can religion or religions cause PTSD? Believe it or not, many people have experienced traumatic experiences at the hands of religion and endless abuse. If you don't believe it, just ask a few people who have been hurt in their religion. Your victory in overcoming is first by being able to identify that you are being abused by religion. That's the only way you can be free from it, is by first looking at yourself and saying, I feel like I'm being abused. I feel like this is affecting me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. If it is, walk away. That's hard doing that. But it's for your own freedom to walk away from the very thing that's affecting your mental health, that's causing PTSD in your life. So ask yourself these questions. What is it producing peace in my life? The religion that you are a part of, is it producing peace in your life? How has it affected me personally? Why is it creating unneeded stress in my life? You have to ask yourself those questions. Not only can religion cause PTSD, but there is a thing that I just found out, which is RTS, which is religious trauma syndrome. This is the function of both the chronic abuses of harmful religion and the impact of severing one's connection with one's faith and faith community. When religion leads to trauma, you need to exit. No matter how you do it, you need to exit. Many suffer for decades from post-traumatic stress, or RTS, religious trauma syndrome. There's also another definition of religious trauma syndrome that I really like. Religious trauma syndrome simply means the condition experienced by people who are struggling with leaving a dogmatic religion and coping with damage of indoctrination. What a beautiful definition of that. So when religion leads to trauma, or whatever you're affiliated with, whether it's church or no matter what it is, when it leads to trauma, that should lead you to an exit. How many understand what I'm saying? When religion leads to trauma, that should lead you to an exit. You should not want to be a part of anything that affects your health in any way. Many suffer for decades, not only from post-traumatic stress, but also religious trauma syndrome. What does it mean to leave? You are putting at risk relationships. You are putting at risk marriages. You are putting at risk sometimes your ministry. That's if you're a part of Christianity. I know a lot of people who have left mainstream Christianity and they're living free. They're just being a human. And they've taken a big hit for it. They've taken a big loss for it because they're no longer a part of what was familiar when they were children. You've heard me talk about my childhood. I was raised in it. I had to walk away from it. So what does it mean to leave? Breaking out of a restrictive, mind-controlling religion is understandably a liberating experience. People all over the world are experiencing this thing that we're calling an awakening. Many people all over the world. There is an excitement about new possibilities. I'm seeing them every day unfold before my very eyes, and I believe that you are too. No more trusting one's thinking to believe irrational religious doctrines. Anyone who detached themselves from religion will suffer a loss of friends and loved ones, but it's worth the loss. My encouragement to you today, as we bring this whole series of PTSD to a close, my encouragement to you today is to free yourself today. Release yourself from the pain, the abuse, the hurt, and make time to heal. You can be free. You don't have to be associated with any religion. You can still love God or the God that you have redefined. You can still love God and not the God of Christianity, as it was in my experience. And I really hope that these episodes have helped you in some way. I want to encourage you that if you're suffering from PTSD, there is hope, there is help. Seek for professional treatment, therapy, reach out to a friend, even me. Find somebody to talk to, share your feelings with. You are not alone. If you know someone that's suffering from PTSD, share these episodes with them. I really believe that they will benefit them in a great way.
Hi, if you like what you're seeing today, be sure to connect with Brother Henry at www.facebook.com/The Brother Henry and You Show. And also be sure to check out and subscribe to his YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/Henry Harris 100. We hope that this has been a blessing to you, and we hope to hear from you soon. Keep watching, because what matters to you matters to Brother Henry.